Okay, I'm officially welcoming everybody for tonight's session. We are live, we are live, we are live. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball starting. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year to everybody watching live from all across the world, wherever you're watching from. Happy New Year. Right. I pray this year brings us great news, great favor, establishment, Godspeed, everywhere that we go this new year. In the name of Jesus, all the works of our hand will begin to prosper by God's grace. Right. This is just me wishing you all Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Right. But today is the day 2 of the session we had yesterday. We are continuing today the session with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, watching from Portugal. Watching, how did they used to say hi in Portuguese or Portuguese, But yes, welcome everybody. Yesterday's session with Dr. Stephen Akintayo was really amazing, right? We spoke about a lot of things. There are 2 words that stuck with me since yesterday. Was that the quickest way to be poor is to be selfish. Hola, yes. The quickest way to be poor is to be selfish. I learned that yesterday and it was really amazing, believe you me. Oh yes, we have here tonight to Rashidat. Thank you for joining in tonight. The quickest way to be poor is to be selfish. The second thing I also learned from yesterday's session is the place that spoke about if the steps of a giant is how did Doctor even quote it yesterday? Let me not misquote. Yes, a step of a giant is a marathon for a dwarf. Right, that statement was powerful. I learned that statement from Dr. Stephen Akintayo yesterday and it was mind-blowing. The step of a giant is the marathon for a dwarf. Right, and then he has to explain a lot of things that you or someone can learn from the standpoint, the process of the movement at which you are going from one point to the other, as a person who wants a mentor, as a person who is growing in life. This generation, one of the major things I observe is that our generation don't like to look for mentors. We believe we know all, and that's why we don't know all, basically, right? So our step, or the step of a giant is that is a marathon for a dwarf, right? And he spoke about a lot of things about always publicize your mentors, right? Those that have helped you to get to where you are today, publicize them, let the world know them, let the world see the great thing that they have done in your life. The other one also he spoke about always go the opposite direction, right? So this was the question I asked him when I asked about how his company transformed to the level where they are today. And that was true, and that was in 2020 actually, and then that was true going the opposite direction of what is actually happening at that time, right? So one of those things he also spoke about is mentors gives you audacity to succeed, right? That was a big word. Mentors give you audacity to succeed. Yesterday's session was amazing. I believe today's session will be mind-blowing. Right, let me not use the word amazing. Let me use the word mind-blowing. Yes. He's a great man. He's a great mentor to me. He's a public figure, and he has been a mentor to a lot of us, out there. And thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, for having me do this, sir. Happy New Year, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, sir. It's an honor to be here again.
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, it's a new year season for us by God's grace. Hope to work more with you this new year, and then to have a lot of collaborations with you this year by God's grace, sir. And then yes, I'm still your boy. I'm just a call away. My bank account too is just a statement away, sir. We believe God. So yes, sir. Yesterday's session was really impactful. I'll be very sincere with you, sir. Even after the session, Rashida also reached out to me. She was really amazed by the questions we asked yesterday, the answers to those questions. A lot of people also reached out to say, wow, that was an amazing session. And I know a lot of people could not join in till the end because of the crossover service. Some were stuck in traffic. Some had to do one or two things. So I believe tonight, as the wrap-up session, we would have a lot of things to dive into. And today's session, sir, according to the questions we have here, it has a lot of things to do with the personal self. Because yesterday you spoke about, yesterday should be a book. Like yesterday itself should be a book. And I think today should be like volume 2. Because what we spoke about yesterday was really heavy, seen from how God has blessed you from the standpoint to where you are today, raising and starting your business with 1,000 naira to having a multi $1 billion company in the future, and all the things that you have in store for the year 2025 and even the year to go. I believe that God is set to do something great. And yesterday's session, I learned a lot. Believe me, sir. I'm the one hosting, but look at how full my own book is, just to show you that I had to write down. This is a session that I don't get every day. So once I see it, before I start paying $20,000, let me know what to write down. All right. So thank you so much, sir. Without further ado, I would like to dive straight to the questions for today. So in case you are just joining in tonight, you don't know what we are talking about, Dr. Stephen Akintayo is co-authoring a book with Dr. Cosmos Maduka, who's also a billionaire himself. And then the book and all the old struggles, the structure and everything is on scaling your business with integrity. It's not just about starting a business, but you must have integrity with the business, because that's what will not make you just scale, but shoot you to the topmost top by God's grace and hard work. Yeah, so question 1, sir, tonight. I think there's supposed to be like this sound of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Okay. When you face moments of self-doubt, how do you ground yourself and realign your focus, sir?
Okay, once again, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you, son of the prophet. I always struggle whether I could call you son of the prophet or handler.
Now just call me your boy, sir.
It's going to be a great, great year for all of us in Jesus' name. I wish everybody all the best in this year. The fourth question, what do I do when I face self-doubt? A couple of things. One, I pray. And I love that you asked that question, because a lot of people feel that successful people don't face self-doubt. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is succeeding in spite of fear. A lot of great things I've done in my life, I've been scared doing it, but I did it scared. I did it being afraid anyway. I just kept doing it. So the lesson there is I pray as the first mood. I want to take care of this spiritual and get some peace of mind. Once I can get peace in my inside, or I get a word on my inside to proceed, no matter the storm, no matter the self-doubt, I just keep going ahead. The next thing I do is to listen to my mentors. Either I go have a one-on-one meetings with them, or I listen to their messages that address those concerns. So mentorship is very key, because like I said yesterday, a step of a giant is a marathon for a dwarf. By the time you check out, what your mentors are saying, their stories and bigger things, bigger hurdles they've had to deal with and were able to overcome, that in itself just, solves the problem right there. So for me, it's a key thing that I've learned to do over and over again. And then the last thing that I'm going to share for the purpose of this book is I talk to my loved ones. I tell people you must have support systems and you must cherish those support systems. One of the biggest mistake a lot of people make once they become successful or they become famous, they forget their support system. And in reality, your support systems are like ladder. You know, you have a ladder and then you climb the ladder and then you get to the top of the ladder, right? If you decide to throw this ladder away, what happens? You fall
Yes, you
down.
fall.
So there are certain people who are ladder in your life. They were there. There are people who are going to be there for you no matter what. They don't care about your fame or your success, whether things work or not. They're going to be there. And you want to keep those people close. I want to reach out to them. You want to talk to them in your tough seasons. My adopted mothers are one of them. No matter what, I cherish my adopted mother because I remember the struggling days from when I had to go and face my in-law for marrying his daughter without his consent. And um, of course, I tried to get his consent. He refused to give me his daughter. And the daughter said we should go ahead with the marriage. And the mother also supported. It was just him alone. So we had our first baby, and our first baby was practically emaciating. And people, when I met her, people say, you know what, go and meet your father-in-law. That's one person you offended. And at least let him pray for your son. So we went to bed. I will never forget in the car. My adopted mother was the one that drove. It was even a car. I didn't have a car at that time.
Wow.
And you know how elders correct you. She will go further and say, you two, why did you do it? You later say, boy, your wife is a good girl. And you couldn't have afforded to meet her. You know? So it's not, it was this elderly, but she went with me. She knelt down begging. So
Wow.
people like that, you can't now say you've arrived today and then sometimes people see me go greet her, prostrate and buy her things, give her gifts, of course, take care of her. Don't forget those people. And even if you enter another storm, go meet them. Their prayers are critical. Their stories are critical. Sometimes they will remind you
Mm.
of other battles you've overcome
Mm.
that you have even forgotten and say, my
Mm.
son, all will be well.
Mm.
My brother, all will be well. My husband, all will be well. My wife, all will be well.
Mm.
So get those support systems. I remember having a business challenge. I was sharing with my older brother. I said, I lived a tough time. And he looked at me and laughed and said, look, Stephen, I know you. The toughest season of your business life, you've passed them. All these ones you are going through. It may be bigger figure,
Mm.
it may be bigger challenges, but the ones you have more tools, more, like they say, you have more higher power.
Mm.
You've not even touched the pot of your power, so you'll be fine. Because I've seen you grow up. I've seen you face the worst ones that I felt you were not going to come out of, but you came out. So calm down. You're going to figure this out as well. So the third one is go to your support system. Let them surround you. So for me, those are the three key things I do.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And one of the major things you spoke about is prayer, right? So a lot of people, like you have said, for someone like you who is a billionaire, very busy traveling up and down, people would think someone like you don't pray, right? Because it's more like to say he's too busy. What time does he even have to say our Father who art in heaven or go 15 hours praying in tongues and what have you, right? I know of that for sure, sir. And mentorship, like, I mean, yesterday focus was more about mentorship, and you spoke about something really resounding is talk to your loved ones, right? Those that one way or the other, even if you're in a mess, they can always bring you out. I remember, I can say this publicly, one of those period in my life where I was going through a serious emotional downtime last year. I think you were the only person that I know that I opened up to, like, Dr. Stevens, at this point, this is the thing. And sir, you scrolled me, let's not lie, you did, but it's for the best. So guys, whenever you are in any kind of challenge whatsoever, it is good that you have mentors who can really speak to you and you can learn from and listen to. I will not forget that night for any reason. But you know, like you said, sir, when they correct you has spaces. They corrected you in the car. For me, it was in computing. So in presidential, so there's levels to this correction. So yes, I mean people cannot relate, sir. Me and you understand what I'm saying. But yes, sir, this now bring me to question 2. In building your legacy, what's that one, personal habit, right? Or I would say ritual, right? You have held on. Can,
SOP, are you there?
can you hear me, sir? Sorry about that. A
Mm.
call came through, sir. Yeah. So the question I asked, sir, is in building your legacy, what's that one personal habit you have held on to through the years, sir?
There are many of them actually, but one of them is maybe I will give two. One
Okay.
is law of attraction. Law of attraction. I have always worked on. You see, everything that is created was created twice. First in the mind, and then second physically. When God was to create man, said, "Let us make man in our image," and then in chapter 3, I said, "God formed man."
Yes, sir.
So there's always that twice. And when God say He made man His image, that's what He's talking about. That men who are created to create things twice. First in your mind, the second time physically. So I practice something called law of attraction. Whatever it is I want to do, I first take a picture of it. I go check it out. If I want to buy a car, I don't need to have the money. I go check, negotiate the car and start forming the image of the car in my mind. I take the picture of the car, I look at it over and over again. If I want to make certain money, I share a check and I write the amount of money I want to make on a check booklet. And I keep staring at that amount over and over and over again. Sometimes it takes 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years before it happens, but I keep staring at it until it happens. So, for example, my current reality was my, you know, mental image a few years ago. A few years ago, I dreamt of being able to have business in America, being able to have my house in America. My dream was even 5 acres. I eventually got 3.3 acres, not too bad. Uh, okay, from 5 acre house. Um, Great community. So I practice law of attraction all the time. I create things twice. In my mind, twice. I first time, I don't yet have all it takes, and I will go and I will talk and I'll carry myself like I have it. It has always worked for me. And if every one of you reading this book will attempt to do that, you'll be shocked what it will do in your life. Assignment number one, write a check of an amount you want to make this year in 12 months. Write it down. Amount you want to make in 5 years, next 5 years. Write it down and paste it where you can be seeing it every day.
Mm.
You can put up images of houses you want to buy, the kind of cars you want to buy, and so on and so forth. Do it. I will never forget, before I left Dubai, I used to live in Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. And it was the day we moved into that apartment in Dubai. I used to live in Dubai. My wife then reminded me that, do you remember the first day you brought me to Dubai for holiday? We we went on a tour. You know how do you pay?
Yes,
Then
sir.
you do this tour to the tallest building in Dubai. And that's you said to me, Daddy, that one day we'll be leaving this place.
Wow.
And when I said it, she just laughed like my husband and his radical faith and his bold thoughts. And you know what was funny? The day
Yes, sir.
we moved into Burj Khalifa, I can't remember, I've forgotten. She was the one
Wow.
that reminded me. I said, you said this thing. You said
Wow.
it. And that leads me to the second thing I do, which is I then say it. Once my mind
Mm.
conceives it, I don't allow my mouth to keep quiet. Because
Mm.
whatever is too big for your mouth will be too big for your hand.
Mm.
So it has to first enter your mind, and from your mind, it has to come out of your mouth, and from you saying it, it then touches your hand. So
Mm.
it's something you must practice over and over again. I've had to practice it over and over and over again. Keep saying it.
Mm.
I don't say what I see. I say
Mm.
where I am going. I
Mm.
don't say what is happening. I say what I want to see.
Mm.
I speak the future. I'm not
Mm.
interested in, oh, things are not working. That's not that, but they will work. So why
Mm.
not talk about what will work? They may not
Mm.
work today, but they'll work tomorrow. So I'm
Mm.
busy saying it,
Mm.
and the universe is responding.
Yes.
It's one of my biggest secrets. That people are always surprised. How come Dr. Stephen is moving at this pace? Some people are even close to me. They are scared, like, we need, uh, we have a project of $200 million, and doctor is talking of $1 billion. Hey, we never raised 200 million. Doctor, they talk 1 billion. Hey, this man. But guess what? 2 years down the line, we've done the first one and we're on the second one. And I'm like,
Wow.
I've had many employees who had to come back to me and say, Dr. Stephen, I'm sorry I left your company. And at the
Wow.
time, things were really tough. I felt you never pulled through. I
Wow.
felt this company was going down. It's
Mm.
shocking to me, that I'm talking to you now, and this company is 100 times bigger. The things you were saying that time that
Mm.
will felt your head is not correct. You are living those realities. Like, how
Mm.
do you do it? The answer is speak it.
Mm.
Do not allow your circumstances dictate what comes
Ah,
out of your tongue.
yes. Yes,
No,
sir.
no.
Yes.
Let your vision dictate
Mm.
what comes out of your
Mm.
mouth. Let your vision
Mm.
dictate what comes out of your mouth. I
Mm.
say it again. Let your vision, where you are going,
Mm.
reflect what is coming out. I've said this
Mm.
oftentimes. You cannot see your glorious future and be downcasted. It's
Mm.
not possible. Even if right now you are in trouble, things are not working, as long as you saw it, law of attraction,
Yes, sir.
sir, you will speak it
Mm.
and you'll be encouraged. It's just people around you that will think you are mad. They will be worried.
Yes, sir.
They will wonder whether you're arrogant or you are mad, because they can't figure you out.
True, sir.
I will never forget something a very popular pastor in Nigeria said to me recently. His name is Reverend Victor Adeyemi, one great man of God I respect so much. He said to me, he said, I got notice of you, because we met physically for the first time 6 years ago
Mm.
during our 10th year anniversary. And he then said to me, he said, I started noticing you few months before that 10th year anniversary. He said,
Wow.
what I noticed was that your words were big, but your current status was very small. He said, and he was sharing this to me last month. He said,
Wow.
the last 6 years, I've seen you close the gap between your
Mm.
words and your
Mm.
reality. He said, and that is really faith that we preach.
Wow.
That's faith. That
Wow.
in 6 years, you've closed the gap between your words and your reality.
Reaction.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes.
truly, we both smiled over it. But I knew many people were worried for me 6 years ago. But boy, this guy, he talks today. He will
Mm.
soon crash. Something will happen. Many of them have been waiting for my crashing, and they are
Ah.
surprised.
Mm. God forbid.
That
Okay.
we get bigger every day. They've been
Man.
waiting. Many people have been waiting. They can't wait for the day. I knew it, Papa Stevie. I have always known it.
Okay.
They have been waiting for years,
Wow.
but my God has not given them the opportunity.
Yes, so yes, so yes, sir. God is not wearing free flop, right? And one of the major things you spoke about the law of attraction. You know, the Bible verse that came was Habakkuk 2 verses 2, right? In your mind, he said, write the vision, make it plain on the table that he may run that reader the do shatari, wait for it, for at the end it will definitely speak. Then he now said, say what you want to see, because what you see determines what you have said, right? And the way you have to say it is, no matter how big the vision is, no matter how big the dream is, just keep saying it, and you'll be so shocked and surprised where you are going to get to. I remember a few years ago also for me when I saw Pastor Isaac Oyedepo in 2020 online, and I said, one day I'm going to work with this man. I just said that to my team there. I said, one day I'll work with this man. And the story, long story short, the days have actually come where we're actually doing all of those, work, assignment, and what have you. The same way also to you. So I remember the day I also saw you in Canaan land. I think I even delayed you. That was the first time I saw you. I delayed you, and then you're like, who is this young man that would delay me? I'm like, sir, one day I'll be big now. As far I can delay billionaire. It's me now. Right. And since that day I said the same, I said a time will come where I will not just have opportunity to do business with you, but have a close access to you, not just from afar, but somebody that I can reckon with. And the days are already here. And I can't wait personally to say that a day is going to come, sir, that when you pack your private jet, definitely to be in my hangar. So let's not even enter that day yet, sir. But let's just say it now. So, sir, it's a matter of time. Watch out for me. Watch out for my return. So, yes, this brings me to question theory, right? How do you define success, now compared to when you started your entrepreneurial journey? Like I know success then and now is not the same thing to you when I ask or when anybody asks for the definition. So how is success to you now, sir?
Success to me now is raising others,
Mm,
raising other successful people. I'm very passionate about mentorship. Somebody here was asking, who are my mentors? I think I've mentioned them. Who are those who inspired me? Um, at the beginning, I didn't have mentors. I just had role models um, Aliko Dangote to Grant Cardone to Donald Trump, um, to Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, John Maxwell, were critical role models. But over time, I've now been able to acquire mentors like Dr. Cosmos. Of course, one of my earliest mentors is Bishop Oyedepo, who happened to be a spiritual mentor. And I had the opportunity for over 20 years to be close and watch him at a close range, but not just watch him, watch the system he's built
mm,
at a very close range. And that helped in a very great way. But for me today, success is how am I able to replicate what is happening in my life, in the life of other people? Because sometimes you can't guarantee that a principle is real until it works
yes, sir.
for other people,
Mm,
right? So how what is working for me, how am I able to teach it to others and they're able to get similar dimension of result? And I'm humbled that it's beginning to happen. I have mentees in business today when they share their story. Even me, I'm beginning to learn from some of my mentees now. So yeah, this one I meet, I'll be your mentor, but I will copy this one from you. Um, and so it's humbling, and I look forward to at least achieving 1 million of that. Today, I announced another 40 set of people I'm giving $20,000 worth of mentorship.
yeah.
Um, for 40 people. What they don't know is that by just being in that community alone, the business that will circulate amongst themselves
True.
is, aside even the value they will get from it, is huge. I know
True.
many of them who have done hundreds of millions amongst themselves. Some have done over 1 billion amongst themselves by just coming together
Wow.
and in that same community and club of people. There's power in synergy. So success to me now is, can I raise 1 million multi-millionaires in dollars? Because God said to me many years ago that, I was praying 2016. I said, look, I'm tired of seeing my company do 200 million, 400 million. I want to start doing millions.
Wow.
And God said to me, He said, raise millionaires and your billionaire status is automatic.
Wow.
Let me say that again. Raise
Praise.
millionaires and your billionaire status is
Status will be automatic.
automatic. So now I know for every financial level I want to reach, I just need to raise people who are also hitting their own smaller targets, and my own target will be automatic.
Hmm. Wow, thank you so much for that. One of the major thing I personally have learned from you, or even from the things you have said, the places that we have been through, is that one of those things too that people do not know. When I saw the 40 20, I mean the 40 people mentorship stuff that you're giving out this period, I saw the comment section because I went to read it, and I saw some people are asking like, hey, it has not gotten to my level. I mean, it's already in the description that visit Stephen Akitayo University for startups, and if you have done over $100,000, then you can be in that community where you have all these people around. I remember in Cameroon when I came for the mentorship program and all, everybody in that room were not small, sir. Like every single, even the staffs from GTEx that came, you'll be hearing staffs that have collected 10% of like 5 million of imagine a staff that have collected 5 million of 10 in 2 months, and you express such person in that room, and every single person you hear, oh, I have my company and I'm doing over so and so return. I was so shocked that in that room, sir, some of your mentees were saying, oh, they did 500,000 dollars kind of investment. And I'm like, hey, you guys should not bust my head. I'm too young for this, right? And that has to do with raising millionaires so that your billionaire status is actually secured, right? That's a strong word, sir. So, sir, let's just joke around a bit because we have been, too serious about things and all, right? This brings me to question 4. If someone, wrote a biography about you, what chapter would you want people to read first, according to your life history, right? Care to share the title you would love to give that chapter? Like, let's say your life in general, what would you like it to be called? Maybe something like the return of DSA legacy, or something like mailing of DSA. So, sir, what would you like it to be?
It's very simple. It will be the story behind the glory. That's it. The story behind the glory. I would love to, go over the struggles. My wife helped me a lot. She reminds me of, because sometimes you forget where you are coming from as you rise higher. So my wife always remind me, oh, when we had struggle, somebody said selling popcorn. My wife always remind me, oh, do you remember the day this happened? Do you remember the day? Like, she recently reminded me of a day. True story. We had a foundation, and then we took these kids to Silverback Galleria. We call it Mentor and Orphan. And we struggled to even pay our bills. It's God that helped us not to wash plates in that place that day.
Wow.
Only to then, said to everybody, the kids were able to go back safely. Then me and her were going to our family house. We got to beggar. So I had 1,000 naira in my ATM. So that was supposed to take us home. I think maybe we were supposed to split it. She takes half, go to our own house, or she would be in my family house, and then from there go to our own house. And I slot in the card. It was those days where I don't know that ATM still swallows cards now.
Yes, it does, sir.
But in those days, It was very rampant. We slot in the card, and then the machine just swallowed the ATM and refused to drop the 1,000.
Oh,
And both of us, that was the only money. There's nothing that could have saved us. We don't have, we're just running into debt with even the charity
wow.
project. If I remember, I just walked away from the ATM sad and I sat somewhere. She was just what happened. I couldn't even tell her what happened. I was just sad. You know how you just feel like I've done everything.
Yes.
Where is God? Where is God?
Yes.
How do you do good things and
Mm,
still face things like this? But you see,
mm.
God is a humorous God, eh?
True, sir.
Even in that place, a guy walked up to me and gave me exactly 1,000 naira.
Wow.
I did not beg. I did not ask. Maybe it was the guy behind me. I don't know what happened, but the guy just walked up. I don't know him and
Wow.
gave exactly 1,000.
Mm.
So
Wow.
you see how human God can
Yes,
be. That
sir.
even if you are sensitive, and she was reminding me, my wife was reminding me this at our book launch. So for me, it would be the story behind the glory,
Mm.
or the cast before the stars.
Mm. Mm. Amazing, sir. This, I mean, the story behind the glory. The book alone. I think, I remember one time when you said a statement that before you clocked the age of, I think 45, you were saying, you were like, you want to retire. And sir, believe me, when you made that statement that day, I'm like, how can somebody retire? Like, just, sir, I saw you like you were proud that day. I'll believe me. This is me coming out boldly to the throne of mercy. You were like, at the age of 20, at the age of 45, I want to retire. And I'm like, I don't get like retire from business or retire. And you're like, I just don't want to work again. I just want to start helping people. I'm like, hey, sir, you live 120 years. You want to retire at the age of 45. But the more I grew closer to you, I understood that right now I think you have even retired. That's the truth because you are just the chief. Let's not touch it. but
Yeah,
in that context,
and I agree with you. The retirement in this context does not mean I stopped working.
yes.
It just means I was taking a backseat from day to day running of our business. So, and it has happened actually. Now I'm the chairman of the business, and so we have a group CEO, we have MDs for each subsidiaries, and but don't get it twisted. I still work 16 hours every day, except for holiday period that gets boring. I force myself to rest more, and it's so boring. It could get boring because now when I don't work, it gets boring for me. I just enjoy working. So, but yeah, that's what I mean by retirement. That I'm no longer MD, CEO, everything's still running around my table. I want to be able to mentor people. I want to be able to run charity projects. I want to be able to, inspire other entrepreneurs. I want to be able to now mentor CEOs, which is now what I have started doing. Right? Let me be the one mentoring other CEOs, investing in other businesses. Like we're starting a venture building firm. It's
Mm.
something very dear to me. I'm going back to school, for example. I'm going to Harvard this year for another
Wow.
2 year program, founders program. And that will lead me to what we call our venture building firm, where
Wow.
I will start investing in smaller businesses. Most people don't know Elon Musk did not start SpaceX. He did not start Tesla, right? He bought
Yes.
into Tesla. He
Yes.
bought into SpaceX. And those are the kind of things I want to do. Invest in
Wow.
smaller businesses, take them to the capital market, turn them to unicorns,
Wow.
this kind of thing.
Wow. Amazing. So you said one statement, right? But I just want you to kind of clear the air. And when you said the statement, I felt attacked when you said the statement of does ATM still collect? Does it still swallow cards? So sir, when last did you use the ATM machine?
So I seldom use the ATM in Nigeria um, because I have executive assistants and you know them. So they do a lot of the runarounds. for my domestic needs, and so I'm not sure whether the HFC swallow part.
There's
So,
levels, sir. There's level.
By
I
the
won't be.
way, Elon
Yes,
Musk
sir.
did not start PayPal. He started Zip2, and then that metamorphosized into PayPal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay, I mean, I won't be shocked tomorrow if I come to your office and meet an ATM machine there. I won't be shocked. I'll just be like, no, it's a normal thing. It's just to be seeing bullion van entering and coming outside. But yes, sir. I'm in all of these things. You have been through a lot. You have seen different things. This brings me to this question: what lessons have you learned from failure that you could not trade for any success?
What lesson have I learned from failure
Yes, sir.
that I could not stray from
Yes, sir.
success?
Yes, sir.
I
That you can't trade for
think
success, sir.
that I can't trade.
Yes, sir.
I think it's that failure is good. Fail fast, fail quick.
Mm.
You know, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is on the journey to success. When on your way to success, there are failures here and there, just like you have pothole in some streets in Africa. It doesn't mean you are not on the right road.
Mm.
That you enter through bumps does not mean, oh, the road will not take you to your destination. No, it just means there are bumps.
Mm.
So a failure is normal. Failure is good. Failure is the I say to people, fail forward, fail fast, fail quickly. Do it when you are younger. One of
Yes.
my favorite scriptures says it is good that a young man carries yoke in the
It's
days of
yoke.
his youth,
Yes, it's yoke. Yes,
right?
sir.
I, I tell people, I say, I want to work hard. I want God to give me all my troubles now. And I learned that from my spiritual mentor, Bishop Oyedepo. There's certain trouble I don't want to face in 80, 70.
Mm.
It just doesn't make sense, right? There's certain trouble that don't make sense at certain age. Am
Mm.
I making sense at
Yes,
all?
sir.
For example, the kind of trouble I should be facing in my 70 is that I'm trying to raise $1 trillion. That's a good trouble. Is that I'm trying to, solve a particular problem in Africa. I've given myself a target that in 2 years I'm going to, create 1,000 unicorn. Those are the kind of trouble. But if at 70, money for school fees,
True, sir.
right?
True,
At
sir.
at at 60, and I mean that's certain. So I say to God, I want to face my headache now. And that's why I
Mm.
work hard. And I encourage young people, work hard now that
Mm.
you have the energy.
Mm.
Work hard like there's no tomorrow. Because it is good that a young man carry his
Carry
yoke
his yoke.
in the days of his youth. It
Mm.
is good that you face problem in the days of young. These things build character in you.
Yes, sir.
These things, listen, let me say this, and this is very, very important. If you don't face mockery, rejection, right? You don't face people mocking you, laughing at you, and then you still maintain character, then you are not going far. Because what happens is that when you then face those kind of opposition at a bigger level, you quit at a big stage. Why is it that people like Donald Trump don't give up? Why is it that Elon Musk can practically confront the whole of America and say, I've gone to every day for 40 something days campaign for Trump until he wins. And I don't care if all the friends I've kept all this year who are
Mm.
Democrats are against my decision. I don't care how many people are mocking and laughing at me. I'm going to do it. And he did it. And he
Mm.
influenced Donald Trump becoming the president of America today.
True, sir.
All those characters will not be formed if you don't go through rejection at a younger age, if you don't go through mockery. That was why, I mean, the other day you were telling me, oh, I'm not coming to Canaan land because of X, right? My friend, I want to see you there. What talk is that, right? Because you needed I understood that you need those experiences
Yes, sir.
for where God is taking you to. I hope this makes
Yes,
sense
sir.
at all.
Yes, sir.
Because in reality, the God, any great destiny, we call it enviable destiny. I have some short sometimes people I don't even know are just jealous of me. Sometimes we have conversation, and sometimes people I'm looking up to in the real estate sector. I was just saying this person was so much gossiping about you. I'm like,
Wow.
where have I even gotten to? That somebody that has been in the sector for over 20 years is gossiping about me. Like, hey, Lord. But for me, I learned that that God will make you an envy of nations,
Yes, sir.
envy of people. And that's when your destiny is great. Now, it says, rule down in the midst of thy enemies. So you have to then learn, how do I keep showing up in a room full of people who don't like me? And I still show up, and I still dazzle, and I still perform, and I still get results. How do I keep showing up? Right? Because that's ultimately the secret to success, son of the prophet.
Yes, sir.
Show up. Show
Yes,
up.
sir.
I was having conversation with a pastor who was sharing with me how his own ministry, because he's a preacher of grace, and he feels that there's so much attack on the grace message. And I remember saying to him, I said, if you feel the faith people, quote and unquote, but that's there's not
Yes.
a characteristic of faith people, grace people.
Yes, sir.
I
True,
said,
sir.
if I were you, I'll keep showing up in every faith meeting. I'll keep showing up. Particularly because in his own case, he said many of the fathers of faith don't have problem identifying with him. It's the smaller ones that are gossiping here and there.
Yes,
I
sir.
said, so the fathers are not complaining. Keep showing up for the fathers. And let the small boys keep meeting you with the fathers. Keep
Yes, sir.
showing up.
Showing up.
And over time, everybody will come around and say, we agree, you saw
Yes,
it
sir.
right.
Yes,
We
sir.
agree, you were right. We agree, you saw something we didn't see. I'll give a very practical example. My spiritual mentor, Bishop Oyedepo, made one of the biggest, in my own opinion, biggest risk, in my own opinion, in his recent years during COVID-19, choosing to go all out and speaking for they shouldn't shut down churches.
Yes, sir.
And he went on and on and on, and he was bold about it. Even some of these people didn't even know is that for those who attend Canaan, there was a practical Sunday where some people literally came to try to shut down the church
Yes, sir.
because they were not even doing what do you call it in Canada? They were not doing this
Yes.
spacing
Social
or
distance.
social distancing. I think maybe after that Sunday service, that's okay. Leave the middle chair for
Yes.
social
Yes, sir.
distance. but Papa went all out, and I watched how many pastors, even those who were sons of bishop, literally, you know, use style, to kind of preach, and we're like, hey, almost that kind of,
True, sir.
oh, yeah, Depo is on his own, no.
Yes, sir.
We may be his son, but this
True,
is
sir.
science. This is, be careful.
Yes, sir.
And but guess what?
Yes, sir.
After COVID went the way it went, and we all saw all the hoax, or how many of those things were even lies,
Yes, sir.
exaggerated.
Yes, sir.
How at the end of the day, social distances really was not really what ended COVID-19. And
True,
a
sir.
whole lot of those things showed me that, look, if you are going far, you better be bold. You better be bold.
Yes, sir.
Be bold. You will face challenges. You will have failures, you will have issues, but just be bold. And that's the reason why some of the recent decisions Bishop Oyedepo made now, people are more quiet to attack it
Yes, sir.
because they knew what happened with
True,
COVID-19, right?
sir.
And so people who are rich pastors are just keeping quiet about it. Unlike before, they will have come out and say their own version. But they
True,
saw
sir.
this man was right during COVID. So all of us were saying, no, COVID was wrong.
Mm.
And you know what was funny? Nobody died in Canaan land. With this Shiloh, nobody died.
At
There
all,
was
sir.
no
Yes,
even
sir.
one case of
True, sir.
COVID killed somebody.
True, sir. True, sir. Thank you so much for that. Show up and don't show off, but show up, right? Because one of the things you actually spoke about when I moved to the next phase at which God has, placed in my hand as the handler, right? I kept going for program where they did not invite me. You don't need to invite me. I'll be there. I'll make sure that, okay, I want to vlog about this. I want to push that out. And I remember during the experience, you just sent me a message and said, okay, Andla, would you want to be at the experience? Let me get you, all access tag. The truth is, sir, I reached out to my peer and I told him, I said, what if we don't have Dr. Stephen Akintayo? How are we going to get to the experience? What should we do next? Right. And that day, on IG, I just went live and I said, I have to, get all access tag to the experience, knowing fully well that you already offered me. But I said, no, let me try my best to go first. If I have tried my best and I see that, okay, my best is not taking me anywhere, then I can speak to you, sir, and say, okay, sir, I've thought all day, all night. Please come and enter my boat. And so I can catch more fish. Right. And that night, sir, I left Surulere around 8 p.m. so that I can get to Tafawa Balewa Square. And immediately we got there, we tried to make the necessary connection we could make and all. The following morning, how God is going to even have it, sir, that your own ticket was even with us in the press conference. Right. So that alone of showing up, I have seen it work. And in this year, sir, a lot of people think I've been showing up, but they are wrong. I think I'm showing up faster now, right? Because almost every single place I'll keep showing up. In case you have not gotten your data on MiFi, this is the best time to go and buy because you keep seeing more about me. So, sir, before going straight to this next question I have to ask, you're a billionaire, sir. You work a lot of time. You have round clock schedule. You travel like there's no tomorrow. That's the truth because nobody knows where you be by any time that you are in that place. You can be in Turkey today. Tomorrow you are telling me you are in Dubai. Next tomorrow. I mean, the day I collected, the first time I collected your contact, you were in Nigeria, and the following day you said you're in the US with another number, and then a week after you're in the UK. At that point, I'm like, I just give up on this man because I don't even know which one is his number. And when you talk, you're like, message me my US number. I'm like, hey, how many one man with how many country number? So in all of this schedule, sir, what do you do when you are free? like what do you love doing when you are free? Is it swimming? Sir, don't tell me you like to read books because me, I don't like reading books when I'm free. And I'm sure a lot of people too don't like reading books when they are free. So what do you do in your leisure time, sir?
Well, I do a lot of fun. First of all, I love adventure. I've done skydiving. I have like a bucket list skydiving. I have stayed in front of Victoria Falls in Zambia. I've done the lion walk, holding lion tail and walking with the lion. I've done deep diving. I dived into 60-meter deep pool. I saw Will Smith do it in Dubai, and I went to do my own too. So I'm big on adventure. You see hot air balloon, very crazy things. I remember the skydiving. My wife had to sign an insurance that if I die, they will give her some money. And so I jumped from 30,000 feet above the sea level. I mean, my wife was scared. She didn't want me to do it. Even the insurance, I said, no, you better do it because if I'm taking such a risk and God forbid something happen to you, it's better we have that insurance because the insurance was it 50 million dirhams?
Wow.
And that was a lot of money. I mean, that was, if I'm correct, I think that's over $10 million. So it was important. At least I know her future is safe when I'm going to be with the Lord. With the Lord.
Hey.
So I'm very, I take risky adventures. In fact, most people when they meet me, they're just like, you're not African. You have this white people mentality and
Wow.
and I have to pick up those adventure cultures when I realize that even Dr. Cosmo, when he saw the lion walk, he had to say he wouldn't dare that one with me. but but I realized that I was coming from a very conservative background,
Hmm.
a background where I'm always scared of taking risk. And I knew my future, I need to take a lot of business risk,
Hmm.
and so I needed to start working on my ability to take risk.
Hmm.
I've shared before how I had a season of my life where I had millions, over $1 million in my account, and I was scared to put that money into an investment because my mind was just all over what if I lose the entire
Hmm.
$1 million? What happened? But now I've built that courage that, even if it's $1 billion, we'll spend it. And, if we lose it, we'll get it back. I've built that level of, courage.
Hmm.
And I've learned to just do it while being scared. Now, let me say this. All this adventure, was I scared when doing it? Yes, but I did it being scared.
Hmm.
Even the skydiving, I was scared, but I did it still being scared. So I love adventure. I love taking walk. I do a lot of walk, just walk long distances. I love movies. I'm big on movies. So I go to the cinemas, and yeah, I intend to be one of the biggest executive producers the world has ever seen. You watch out for that phase of my
Oh
life,
yes.
in
So I don't
the
mention.
next couple of years.
So I don't mention. I'm in that phase too with you, sir. You know. All right. All that you have said, sir. One thing that has, or that is, everybody can agree with me that all the adventure that you did, sir, is a billionaire adventure. Believe me. Somebody said that their own adventure is to hit. It's the truth. Because my own is just go take a walk. Yes, I can take walk. That's for we. But sir, those old lion tail, sir, the African in me, the Africa in me, the whole lion, sir, the whole lion. What if the lion go on? My goodness. Okay, so without further ado, let me not go to that point where we'll lose the touch of why we are here tonight, sir. Because I can keep asking those questions. Now, I had to ask that question so that we can have a definition of the next question I'm about to ask you. How do you balance being visionary while staying connected to the people and communities you serve, sir?
Very good question. I think the good thing that helped me was that I had built my vision in my wilderness phase.
Mm.
I did my 50-year goal plan 16 years ago. I was just graduating from university, wrapping up. When I did my 16, 50-year goal plan, even though I still had to, strike and all of that, it kept me in school for many more years. But I was glad I did that. For like a year, I kept praying over my vision, right? I prayed over that vision over and over and over and over for like a year. I woke up 5 a.m. and I was just speaking into the vision. So I think the fact that my vision developed when I didn't have much of the execution, and that's why I encourage young people, dream big, dream now, dream when you don't have the resources for it.
Mm.
Because the process of goal setting, the first phase of goal setting should not be, and I'll give you this assignment, please, everybody reading this book, do it now. Write down your vision as though money is not your problem. And you will write the most authentic God given vision for your life. What often affects our big dreams is because when we're trying to write down our vision or our goals, our mind is going towards where would you get the money from? Don't even go that one. Don't even think of that one. Don't. I listen. I have not entered a plane before in my life when I wrote down that will not just have private jets, we will have private jets.
Mm.
All our executives will literally be using private jets to move from one country to the other for work for the organization. And I have not even entered one plane, even local
Wow.
plane,
Wow.
right? So if you can sit down and say, if money is not the problem, what exactly, who do I want to
Mm.
be? What are the things I would like to do? And then write the year one, write the 5 year one, write the 10 year one. And if you can dare like me, do 20 or go more. So I did a 50-year goal plan. So today now is a matter of, do we now have the resources? And when I say resources, it's not just money. Do we have the manpower? Do we have the connection to execute some of those ideas? So it's easy for me to know that this is the next one. This one we are right for it. Like production is easy because some of the biggest stars that will make any movie succeed were now friends. We've built relationship over times, right? Over the years. So I know that now we are at that phase. Resources is also not the problem, but connection, people, manpower is also no longer a problem. Okay, and so it's easy for me to say, it's time for movie, right? Even here in Houston, you'll be shocked how just like that, somebody gave me the contact of the person in charge of Netflix.
Wow.
Once it's around business to business production,
Wow.
right? And so you will know when the time is right. So for me, I think the wisdom was to have done the vision planning years ahead, and then now live the rest of my life like a script. So people are surprised about what God is doing in my life, but I'm just smiling because I'm following a script, a 50-year script that has been written, and I intend in the next 10 years to perfect another 100 years, goal that will take effect from the year 2035. And that 100-year goal, of course, will include, posterity, things that will happen even after I'm long dead.
Wow. Wow. That's really, really, really amazing, sir. Thank you so much for that. Write down your vision, if money is not your problem. Right. I
No, no,
think you asked me that
write
question
it
that day,
down
and
as though
as
money
though
is
money is
not
not
your
your
problem.
problem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember you asking me that question too, that day. But what was in my mind was, I know money is not my problem, Dr. Steven, but sir, still send me the money, after writing it down. And yes, sir. So now, this is me asking you this question before my next one. Sir, when last did you drink Gary? Because I know billionaires like you, maybe King Brown, salad, coleslaw, and all those things. I mean, personally speaking, when last did you take Gary, kuli kuli, or granite?
Funny enough, I love Gary. I love kuli kuli. Like, somebody sent me kuli kuli. I think it was here in Houston some months ago. I just put it beside my bed and I was, crushing the thing. So yeah, maybe a few months ago I still took Gary. I love Gary. I love kuli kuli. I mean, you know what's funny? Growing up, food used to be my biggest problem. Because I was from a very humble background, food was so much my problem that I remember I used to regurgitate food. You eat because it wasn't much. It was a very bad habit. And the habit developed because you didn't have enough of the food. So
Yes, sir.
but, but what's funny today is that even the food now I don't eat. Right? I'm watching my weight. I don't eat much. And so I sometimes I just say this life no balance and it's unfair because the season of my life when I wanted food, I didn't get it. The season when any food I can get, now the doctor will tell you, oh, you need to watch red meat.
True, sir.
Oh, to cut down on carbohydrates. Oh, you need to
True, sir.
I give up.
Well, so I mean, it's just the truth that we need to hacks, right? Because a lot of people think that once you have gotten to that level, there are certain foods you can't take again. More like Gary, for instance. That's the universal Nigerian language, right? When it comes to meals, and
I think
food, and,
I
and
think
it's good to
it's
actually
just
know.
that I think it's just that some things you hardly do because of your new lifestyle. But I remember taking Okada. We were going to a site 6 years ago. So it was a property we bought, but the road was bad and it has rained. So they had to call an Okada to drive me into it. You need to see the joy that I was taking Okada, because prior to that time, I had not taken Okada also like in over 5 years. It was just an excitement of more. But of course, I also have to keep composed as guy, so that people will not be saying, what kind of childish play is our
Ah,
chairman doing?
sir, our everyday activities, your excitement. Hey God, oh, there is level to bike, oh, there's level to the Gary too. And this actually, why I'm asking this question is because I want to strike the balance before the next question, so people don't get too engrossed with heavy questions and don't know how to, get the joy of the question. Now, this question is, what's a part of your daily routine that might, surprise people who admire your achievements, sir?
Easy. I meditate minimum, I would say average 4 hours a day.
Hmm. Wow.
I think average 4 hours a day. Average.
So wow. So
Yeah.
that means that let's not go into your thoughts, because I know that it's a place that we can't survive in. But imagine you thinking 4 hours in a day. So now,
Yeah, but
if
it's not a stretch. It could be 1 hour in the morning, it could be 2 hours in the night, another 1 hour in between. But my mind is constantly thinking. Like even sometimes my wife will, hey honey, I'm gone. And they are not negative thoughts. They are not, I'm just almost every step. The same regurgitation I told you about. I'm playing things in my mind. Remember, I told you that everything is created
yes, sir.
twice.
Yes,
So
sir.
I could go into a conference I have for December. I could go into, and I'm thinking, and I'm taking notes. Oh, we need to cover this aspect. We need to cover this angle. We need to talk on this. We need to call this person. This person will play a critical role. And I'm creating mentally,
Hmm.
right? So I spend at least 4 hours every day thinking. You
Wow.
see,
So sir, that yes,
Africans are mentally lazy. We're
yes, sir.
very hardworking people physically, but mentally we're lazy. And it's the reason why the quality of our work, there's a lot of mediocrity to some of what we do, because we don't put in so much time to go over it mentally. Go think, think, think. People even hate thinking.
Yes, sir.
You see, I don't want to think. I don't want to think. I don't want to tax my brain. Like, those are language that should get out of your mouth.
Hmm.
Thinking is good. Nothing great comes out without quality thinking, quality
Yes, sir.
reasoning.
Hmm.
Everything great in life is a product of quality reasoning. You can reason your way out of your poverty. You
Hmm.
can reason your way out of challenges. You
Hmm.
can reason your way out of lack of promotion. You
Hmm.
can reason your way into wealth in 2025.
Hmm.
But you have to think.
Yes, sir.
You have to
Yes, sir.
settle down and think it through. How do I get better results? I'll
Hmm.
give you an example of a great idea. I have this conference called Growth Masterclass.
Hmm.
Okay. And believe it or not, my thinking was to just do our small, um, you've been through some of my trainings,
Yes, sir.
just 20, 30 people, kind of thing. And in the course of meditating, my spirit just said to me, but you remember that 2025, we're not doing things small. So
Hmm.
go and increase it to 300 people seminar.
Wow.
So the first thing my mind said, wait, the first event is the January 25th. How will I get 300 people to, and it's a paid event.
Yes, sir.
And then do this, do a billboard, take this step, take that step. And right there, I'm just thinking, it's done. Doable. And immediately I've given my team, do this, rush this, pop, pop. And that's why sometimes, even to you, some of my discussion with you are sudden, right?
Yes, sir.
Because it's through meditation.
Yes,
Just say,
sir.
you know what? Work with this guy. And that's
Yes,
why
sir.
I tell people, if you love anyone, be praying for them.
Yes, sir.
Because if you pray for them, the Holy Spirit will put you in their mind.
Amen.
Right? And
Yes,
that's
sir.
why you pray for those who are your mentors, who are your leaders. Pray for them. If you pray for them, the Holy Spirit will be the one.
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, there is, with all due respect, there's nobody I cannot get to interview me to do this. I've done with celebrities,
True, sir.
Macaroni, AY, name whoever. I mean,
True,
they've
sir.
all interviewed me. We've done. So, but that it was you my mind went to
Yes, sir.
is a function of meditation,
Yes, sir.
and maybe you are praying.
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Sir, you see, the answer is already revealed. It's not maybe, sir. I am Adura Angbani, sir. It is the prayer of the Ori and the Eleda that is answering. Well, thank you so much for that, sir. Think it's true, because one of those things, like you have said, is our generation hardly think things through, and then we don't like to, do the brain work, but we like to do the handwork. And that's why, after several years, you just realize that I've been working, I didn't get there's nothing to show for it. It's because the mind has not, grow to the capacity of what your hand should have done. You were just working, but you were not thinking of the work, right? For instance, I will also quickly share this too. For me also, I reached out to my own team too, late last year, December to be precise, telling them about the new structure of what I want to do that I've spoken to you about, sir. And for like 2 days, sir, I was off social media. I was just thinking of how can I, what or who should I reach out to? And it will interest you to know that the Lord just prompted me to someone, to work alongside with me in the hemisphere. And immediately I reached out to the person. The person was like, my goodness, I cannot wait. I'll leave my administration to follow you, sir, on this aspect. And it was so mind-blowing for me. I had to reach out to someone else. The person said, okay, you know what happened? I'll give you my drone on this assignment for free so that you can actually cover, because I know the magnitude of what you want to do. And few days ago, I reached out also to Pastor Isaac Moyedepo, just to also tell him that, sir, this is what I want to go into from January next year. That's this year. And he himself was so excited, giving me insight. Okay, this is what you should do. I think you should not go on this path. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. But if I did not first confide in my thought and then thinking it through, it won't make any sense telling anybody. And that's one of the things I learned from you too, is when you think it, say it before you forget about it. Say it and keep saying it till it becomes a reality. And thank you so much for that aspect, sir. I'm grateful. Now, the next question, sir. What's a question about your life or career that you wish people would ask but rarely do?
Good question. I always wish people will ask how to bootstrap a business, how to handle tough situation, how to keep integrity, particularly doing business in Africa. Africa can be dirty. I remember a guy walking up to my office one day and say, what if I bring a bag full of dollars to buy real estate from you? Will you say you will not collect? And I said, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Right? We don't do money laundering. Of course, he felt disappointed. He withdrew from me. But I didn't mind. I didn't mind. I'll share this story. Particularly talking about how to play with integrity. 2008 was when I should have blown, like they say, blow. I had a reality TV show idea, and we presented it to a telecommunication company. I will not mention their name. And the chairman saw the idea, he loved it. Our own budget was 350 million naira, 2008. Now, 350 million naira 2008 is over 3 billion naira now,
True, sir.
considering inflation.
True, sir.
And of course, the people in that organization padded this budget till the thing rose to almost 500 million. And
Wow.
then it then got to the final person. Remember, I said we started with the chairman. He had approved it. He liked it. It got to the final person to sign this particular deal. Now, the first money they were supposed to release to me was 10 million naira as the owner of the idea, as the creator. That's why today, when I'm talking about going to production, I don't even have because those papers that I have been writing scripts. And when I say script, movie scripts, reality TV show scripts,
Wow.
with I even did copyright of this reality TV show script as far back as 2005.
Wow.
Well, as far back as secondary school in the 90s,
Wow.
right? And so this one, I wrote this reality TV show concept. I got the copyrights to it. Nobody could even replicate it or do anything. And I took it to that level. And then the final person to sign for the money to be released, 350 million. And out of this 350 million, my direct royalty for owning the idea is 10 million. There's still other money I'll be paid for all the other roles I will be doing in the course of shooting. Cut the long story short, what will have come to me is not less than 50 million.
Wow.
In this particular show. And then we met the last guy to sign now, because I got two people on board. One of them had connection with this telecommunication company. The other person was a good chartered accountant who then prepared the budget, the proposal. So they then, told me that the last person to sign said he wanted to see us. And I knew what it was about. I knew it was about bribe. That the guy said all the padding they've done, that one does not involve him. And that he needed 4 million naira, he need 4 million or 2 million naira to be given to him before he signed.
Wow.
So my team had meeting with him, and when they came to me, I said, I'm a Christian. I don't do that. And then when people think I'm a Christian now, they need to know me back in the day. I mean, I'm a bit more tolerant, mature now. I was small thing. I'll call you devil and speak in tongues and chase you out. So when they were like, no, we don't do that. I don't give bribe. No, no, no.
The bishop where the point you sir came alive.
We were fire. They don't give bribe. So these my two partners now went to meet the guy and said, look, our other partner is this SU. People who don't carry religion in their head. What I said was, he said, but we've convinced him. He said, once you sign and they release the money out of his own 10 million that they will first give him, he is willing to give you 2 million as a gift. But that if you insist on getting the money before you sign, it is a bribe, and he's not willing to do that. Right? But if it's something he gives you willingly after you've done your job, to thank you for your job, he doesn't see it as a gift. And so they told him, that one said, with your SU, I don't care about the SU. There's none of my business with that one. I need 2 million or you guys don't have this job. So after back and forth, the man now said, okay, you know what? Give me 1 million now, and then 1 million after I sign, when you get your money. So those ones were excited. They now came back to me with an offer in their mind they felt I cannot refuse. Wow. They said, the man has agreed we should only drop 1 million now. The remaining 1 million after we get the money. They then said, we will share it into 3. We'll drop 300. You drop 300. The third guy will drop 400. Wow. And then we pay. So no issue. And you will not believe it. I said no. They came back again and said, okay, we will drop the money so that it's not you that is giving bribe, right? This
Yes, sir.
matter, I remember going to meet my pastor friend because I was pastor on campus. So we had this overall pastor of all the other
Yes,
campuses.
sir.
And I remember talking to him, he said, we call him Pastor Steve, he said, don't see it as bribe, see it as a gift. There's nothing wrong. Let the money go. Then my mother, I mean, my late mother is CNS. I grew up in CNS too. Took me to our prophet. That one too, hey, Celia. And he said, this is legit, that this is clean, that he saw that the whole thing was going to be a huge success. And once we released the funds, it was okay. My mother then said, Stephen, I will give you the money. I
Wow.
still rejected 350 million.
Wow.
Today, if we do 350 million in a month, that is a bad month.
Kai.
That's a bad month. And why I'm sharing this is to encourage young people. They don't catch latecomers in the school of success. They don't. They don't. And look back, if I had taught a project of 350 million in 2008, I wasn't mature for it.
Yes, sir.
It probably would have crashed me. It will
Yes,
have
sir.
wrecked my life. Hear this. True story. One of those that was a mentor, that was looking up to as a mentor, role model in the reality TV show space that time. In fact, I remember writing the man with my reality TV show idea, seeking his help, because he too had been part of a reality TV show, was all over. Today, the man is practically begging for money.
Kai.
Practically
Wow.
begging for money.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I realized that, like Bishop said, whatever God cannot give him, I never get.
Yes,
Wherever
sir.
God cannot take me, I
Take me,
never
man.
get
Never
there.
heard it.
Because
Yes, sir.
sometimes, if success comes too early, it shortens your life.
Yes, sir.
It,
True, sir.
it, it, it shortens even the
True,
success,
sir.
right? Somebody said this, and my mother always remind me, my adopted mother, anytime I'm going through challenges, she will say, Stephen, wàhálà máa ń mú ẹ̀mí èèyàn gùn ni. In other words, Stephen, trouble only makes your life long. When you face trouble in life, it's the secret to longevity. When everything just works rosy,
Yes, sir.
easy, watch it.
Watch
You're
it. True,
about
sir.
to head for a biggest of crashes.
True, sir.
So problems are good. Challenges are good. Sticking to integrity is good. Because I look back today and I'm saying to God, thank God for my life. Thank God I bootstrapped
Yes.
it. Because remember, it was in 2008, I did my 50-year goal plan. So imagine starting my business with 350 million naira as far back as 16 years ago. Okay?
Kai.
But I can bet you I wasn't mature for it. Today now, there's no height God has taken me that I'm not even surprised. I will have been surprised if I'm not there. Because I've
Yes.
walked through that path mentally many times over. So it's easy to have the capacity to manage it. Success is not the problem. The problem is, do you even have the capacity to maintain,
Yes, sir.
sustain that level of success?
Yes, sir.
And I've met people like that who made it big, easy. Today, when I sit down with them, including that guy I told you was my role model that I was looking up to, he was telling me, say, I mismanaged it. I didn't do it right. I was wrong. I made some mistake. The way the money was coming, I wasn't mature for it. So everybody reading this, take it easy. If you think you lost anything because of integrity, I promise you, you will gain times 1,000,
Yes.
right? But when you eventually gain it, you will love it because you deserve it at that point. You are mature for it. You will manage it. And it will be the kind of, they said the blessing of the Lord
Rich.
maketh rich and added no
And
sorrow.
that is no sorrow. Yes, sir.
Right? I am a blessed, happy man. Someone was asking the other day, are you fulfilled? I'm more than fulfilled because I know I didn't cut any corner. There's no aspect of my business I cannot say publicly. There's nothing about my business I cannot do a press conference and discuss. Nothing. There's no aspect that I'm hiding from the public. That it was one politician that called me to the corner and gave me some dollars that I used to grow my business. There's nothing like that. It was organic growth. And when it's organic and it's you and God,
Yes, sir.
you will sustain
True.
and it will last.
Thank you so much for that. No late comer in the school of success, right? And as you have said, a lot of us in this generation, especially the young ones, is that we basically don't know how to, what's the word now? We don't know how to say no with integrity. So once they bring any offer, as long as there's money involved in it, and the money looks big, we just want to say yes to it. We want to try and cut the corners. We want to try and do all sort of things just to get the money. The same way it is now, sir, that a lot of people will pray and say, Lord, my 5 billion naira that borrow me 5 billion from my future money now. And then sometimes I just laugh because you don't have the capacity to even handle 100,000 naira. The day 1 million enter your account, you can't sleep well. Every knock that appears at your door, you are suspicious. Any fly that pass at your front, you are like, is it not village people? Even if you are going out, somebody's getting closer to you. You can't sleep well. But if you have that your 100K full chest, you sleep well, you eat well, no sorrow, nothing, right? So it is very, very important for us to know that there is no late comer in the school of success. Thank you so much for that, sir. So, sir, I have this question I want to ask. God has blessed you with wealth. You have met different people, in your capacity, which you still make great persons. I won't be surprised tomorrow if you are appointed in the White House in the US. Thank God I'll be there to take the pictures. But I won't be surprised if those days, come and what have you. But in all of this, how are you able to preserve your humility and then your gratitude, mindset under the pressuring stuff, in terms of all that you are doing? How are you able to still be humble, still show gratitude? Because in this generation, people that has not even attained half of not your height. Your height is far away, sir. My kind of height, not even my own, somebody that is just upcoming. The power of pride is just too much. How much more someone like you who can afford anything, sir? How are you able to, despite the pressure around you, sir?
Good question. I think it was because I was humiliated to where I am. Yes, I was humiliated up. And when you were humiliated till you get to where you are, you know you didn't get to where you are by your power, but by God's grace and mercy. Right? So for me, it's a case of I've just gone through all manner of humiliation and ridicule, and I just kept at it. I just kept at it. And I say this oftentimes: we know your true character when you are being humiliated. That's when your true character comes out. I often say this to men who beat their wives. I've had years of pastoring. I pastored for like 16 years since I was in secondary school, university days, and even post university.
Wow.
Before I retired and focused fully on business. And I will say, when I used to pastor and the cases of somebody beat his wife comes to my table, and then the man is telling me it's the woman, there's something she did, I always tell the man, I said, you didn't beat your wife because of her character. Her character only reveals that you're a wife beater.
Wow.
Right? What she did only revealed, only brought out your true character,
Kai.
right? But in reality, it's there. She only brought it out. You were a wife beater, right? So, in the true sense, if you are you are rude, you are arrogant. I always say this to people. Money is neutral.
Yes, sir.
Position is neutral. Fame is neutral. It only takes the shape of the person who carries it. I'll give you an example of two artists. One is his father is a billionaire, okay?
Yes, sir.
And he's ready to go to the street, he's ready to take pictures. If somebody jump on the stage, he probably will dance with the person. Even if he doesn't want the person on the stage, he will, in a polite way, ask the person to go. Then there's another one who was from a very humble background, not from a rich home. You guys can then by yourself pick who that is. And just last night, we're seeing somebody jump on the stage to dance with him. He walked off the stage. They had to go and be begging him. Right? They had to go and be begging him. So in reality, you realize that, it's not the fame.
Yes, sir.
Because one has more reason to be arrogant. His father is rich. He himself is rich. He's famous.
Yes,
but he's still very down to earth. He still wants to connect with everyone. So money takes the shape of the owner. Fame takes the shape of the owner. If you are naturally humble, with more money, you'll be more humble, right? However, let me also state this, and this is very, very important. As I grew up, I also now learned to balance it. That even though I'm a humble person, I need to take the shape of the person I'm dealing with. And this is a more sophisticated conversation. As you rise higher, you realize that don't treat people based on who you are. Treat them based on how they treat you or who they are.
Yes, sir.
So I'll give you an example. The same way you are shouting, oh, the same example, have access to him, is down to earth. You would meet people who tell you that, who are you talking about?
True, sir.
To even smell his gates, right? So it's a function of learning as you rise, because people will also want to take you for granted. And even on social media, I've seen people do it. You see somebody come and talk to me in an arrogant way in my comment section, and either me or my assistant will reply him in the same arrogant manner so that he knows that he does not have the monopoly of arrogance, right? Yes. Some people feel they have the monopoly of violence.
True, sir.
Or monopoly of anger, or monopoly of stupidity. You don't have monopoly of it. Everybody get magnet somewhere. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I tell people this. The type of humility I like is called power under control. I have the power, but I choose to behave otherwise. And those are the people I respect. I respect today. My mentees that I respect the most are the ones who are billionaires, and yet they meet me, my mentor. Yes. How are you, sir? I call them. I need to some place. Let's do something. They jump on the next flight. They are there. They are the ones I respect, because I know those people can do otherwise.
Yes, sir.
Poverty has a way of making you look humble. You really don't know whether a man is humble or arrogant until he touch money and fame and power.
True, sir.
So all this fake humility that people do just because of, even right now, some people, because they now have 20,000 followers on social media, there's nobody they will not harass.
Yes.
Just for 20,000 followers, there's nobody they will not harass on social media. Okay? So, humility is power under control. You can do otherwise, but you choose to be nice. You choose to be kind, right? You can choose to be brutal. There are some employees in our companies who are elderly. I use air for them. I use sir. I use Mr. So for them. I pay their salaries every month. But they're elderly.
Yes, sir.
Right? It cost me nothing to accord respect to them.
Yes, sir.
And the more I also rise and I connect with very powerful people, the more I realize that forget all these, people that say they are so powerful, they are rude, they are this. Is the persona. When you are successful and you meet them, the humility they will show
True,
you will be humble.
sir. True, sir. True, sir.
Their humility will cause your own humility to be shaken like this.
True, sir.
You'll be shaking.
True, sir.
Right?
Oh, yes,
One
sir.
is, President Obasanjo. I remember the day, we're having breakfast. You know how you just be looking again and say, is it not the same man? Everybody talk about how, how he's this, he's that.
Yes, sir.
And I think you'll be like, hey, okay? And we were talking and there's nothing, he wasn't ready to do for me. That's it, Bishop Oyedepo. In fact, the last time we had one-on-one meeting in his house, he hosted me for over an hour. When I entered, his office at his home office, and then he was talking to me, I had to look back because I didn't believe that level of respect was for me. I thought there was somebody elderly behind me he was talking to. I kid you not,
Wow.
right? So the reality is, humility is power under control. Such people they know they have influence on me, but they don't use it. I don't know whether you
Yes, sir. Yes,
understand.
sir.
If an pastor just says, Stephen, run there and pick something, I will run. If Oyedepo says, Stephen, jump, I will jump.
Yes, sir.
Before I even think whether it was right to jump or not. But
Yes, sir.
yet, such people still accord you respect. And that's called humility.
Yes, sir. Thank you
You are
so
not
much.
humble.
Yes, sir.
You are not humble when you don't yet have fame,
Fame,
power,
money.
money,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and then you are relating to people in a certain way. That's normal. Now, what else will you
True,
do?
sir.
You don't have the choice.
True, sir.
You are really humble when you have the choice to do otherwise, and you
Yes.
still treat people right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that, sir. You are not humble until you have attained the level of power, respect, money, and what have you. Then that will really show your, humility in life. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. I mean, me, I'm always your boy, sir. So I will not say I'm humble. I'm not humble yet. So maybe when I start having the billions, I'll know my character. But the little that I know now, sir, at least I'm famous. I'm still your boy, sir. Right. So, sir, before going to this next question, I'm just going to ask this question in a GP. When last did you wash plates, sir? Sorry to say, like, when last did you just sleep and wake up one morning and like, I think, let me just wash the plate that I just finished using to eat. Sir, when last?
I did that last month. I was here alone in Houston, and nobody was in the house. I have to wash my plate.
Okay,
I
okay.
did.
I know. I
I'm
should
very
not be asking this
normal. I
question.
don't know what you would take me for. I'm as normal as any human being.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
normal.
okay. So,
Even though I will not, it's not a case where there are people available to do it and then I choose to do it. I mean, I don't wash clothes except again, otherwise I'm alone. I travel a lot. So sometimes I've traveled, I'm in a hotel alone. In some cases, I ask dry cleaner to do it. In some cases, I just need to quickly iron a shirt. I'm still very normal, but of course, I have a lot of domestic staff all over the world. The funny one is I don't drive. I can't remember when last I drove, right? I can't remember. I can't remember. I'm not sure I've driven in 5 years.
but sir, would you permit me to break that record in one of the stuff I'm trying to cook, sir?
Why
Sir,
not?
let's.
I can drive.
Sir, I
I
have
can
said it
drive just that I
publicly.
have driving.
I'll send you my documents, sir, and then you will
Even,
see the storyboard.
even in Texas, I don't drive. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
I
So,
don't
sir,
drive.
I'm currently working on a series. I will still let you know as regards to that. You definitely be in that series by God's grace. And I can't wait. I can't wait, sir. So this is bringing me next to the next question, which says that What is the single most underrated factor entrepreneurs often overlook when preparing to scale?
Factors they underrate, I think, in my own assessment, is social capital. You know, people underrate the importance of great network, great relationship, word of mouth, people throwing word for you. A lot of startup entrepreneurs are just fixated about money. You know, give me money, just give me money, as though money is everything. And I tell people that money is the least of the factors important to grow a successful enterprise. It's the least important factor in growing a successful enterprise. I'll give you an example. Whenever we're expanding our business to any country in the world, the last thing I think of is how much money do we have to execute that project. The first thing I think of is who is our contact? Who do we know in those countries that we can trust, that has integrity, that will watch our back, right? That's the first thing. How many people in those communities do we know, right, that we've impacted? That's why sometimes, I'll give an example. Before we ever started business in the US, I will come to the US and I will just do seminars. Some of my seminars were so packed. I would do 3 sessions in a day, three sessions, right? And I just needed to get the community to know me. The same thing I did in Dubai, the same thing I did in UK. Just add value, impact people, build your name, let people know you exist before thinking of, oh yeah, give me money, come and invest with me, come and do this, and I think that's what people underrate the most. People need to know you. People do business with those they know, they like, they trust. So invest first in people knowing your business, knowing the impact of your business. And this is not that everybody must do seminar. Sometimes just give people opportunity to test your product.
Yes, sir.
That's part of them knowing you. That's part of social capital. Just give them a free test and say, okay, everybody go and test it. We want to get 1,000 people to test for free. Something you will have charged a good money for. But what will happen is that 1,000 people test, they enjoy the service, they will spread the word. Everybody will just start talking about you. But when everything is just, I need money, okay, you get the money, what will you still use the money to do? Through marketing. And then you do the marketing, and then nobody do business with you after you spend the money on marketing. And you waste the entire money on marketing. Okay? And then you say you don't know what happened. Meanwhile, you could have just done a free service to add value to the community, and that will have just spread your fame abroad.
Thank you so much for that, sir. Let people know you exist and social capital. Right. I'll dive straight into the following question that I have, then ask the rest. How did your personal definition of success evolve as your business expands, sir?
Well, I think as I quickly realized in life that life wasn't all about me. Sometimes the biggest mistake you and I will make is to think that we are the center of what the goodness of God in our life. We are the center of our purpose. Your purpose is not about you. Your purpose is about other people.
Yes,
God created you as a channel to change the life of millions of people. And when you know this, you will not fail. When you know this, you have integrity. When you know this, you will do everything with godliness and pure character, because you understand clearly the purpose of what you have and why God gave it to you. So we are created to be distributors. And so quickly I realized that success wasn't about me. Of course, I needed to be somebody for even anybody to want to learn from me. I needed to be somebody because two people cannot help themselves. I need to help myself first. I needed to demonstrate what I know on me. And I have to be the first testimony that the value that I'm offering my world works. I had to be the testimony. So it was important for me to build wealth if I was going to teach people to build wealth. It was important for me to have financial freedom. So I was going to teach people how to gain financial freedom. But I needed to do it for myself first. And for me, that was very, very important. And but as time goes on, it kept expanding, to raise 1 million millionaires, to have a 50-year goal plan to feed 1 billion people in the world or who are struggling with hunger, to address what you used to struggle with when you were growing up. So the impact channel kept expanding as as God blessed me. But from day one, my mentality about wanting to be rich, wanting to be successful was always about people. You'll be glad to know, son of the prophet, that I didn't register the business first. The first company I registered was supposed to be an NGO, was a
Wow.
charity to help orphans, to help. Yeah. In fact,
Wow.
my becoming an aggressive entrepreneur was the frustration I faced where we're doing charity projects. People will promise to donate, they end up not donating. We run
True,
into
sir.
debt trying to help people.
True, sir.
So after a while, I said, why not just do business, make my money, and from my own money,
Yes,
help
sir. You give
as
up.
many people as I can help,
Yes, sir.
rather than just make the whole thing be about, charity. Every charity thing is obviously not working. So that's what really pushed me to be an aggressive entrepreneur.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much for that, sir. In all that you do, just make sure that you know the right, steps and people to follow. I mean, doctor is a great example for that. But sir, I have one question. When last did you touch 100 naira note?
I can't remember that.
Ouch. So sorry guys. In case you used to buy sugar to drink your gari, I'm sorry, billionaire can't even remember how 100 naira note looks like. So I didn't even know maybe there's a new 100 naira note that I didn't even know because I have not touched 100 naira note since when. Hey, there's levels to this thing, though. But so I'll let that one slide actually because so you have taught us we that we are not yet in that level. So guys, let's just hold our 100 naira. The more we can do that now, sir. Very soon it will be $100 from 100 naira. So this next question, sir. What initial indicators convinced you that your business model was scalable, sir?
Well, so to be honest, I made a mistake here. My first set of business did not pass two tests. I call it the principle of universality and principle of scalability, right? Whether it was bulk SMS, whether it was organizing trade fair, selling of books, they didn't pass those tests. But as I started researching, I quickly learned that my business has to pass the test of universality and the test of scalability. And I'll break it down. Scalability means that I have to be able to do the business at the realm of $1,000, at the realm of $100,000, at the realm of $1 million, at the realm of $1 billion, at the realm of $100 billion, at the realm of $1 trillion and above. So it has to be a business that there's no cap, there's no limit to how big, how wide it can grow. Now, when we say the test of universality, it has to be a business that the same way I can run the business in Nigeria, I can run the same business in Dubai, I can run the same business in UK. The same business is needed in America as well as anywhere else. And that's why when I got to know this was when I was not intentional. Real estate was one of such. Real estate is needed even in Antarctica.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
anywhere, and it's still premium anywhere in the world. So now the business is agriculture. Everywhere in the world, people eat. So the new technology, everywhere in the world, people need technology. So today, now every business we do, we're intentional about that business is scalable and that business pass the test of universality.
Thank you so much, sir. Scalability in the context of how you have said it, sir. Now I'm going to ask this other question. how do you craft a vision that inspires not just your team, but also stakeholders and investors, sir?
I think you have to learn how to market your vision. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of us have is we've not mastered the art of marketing. I call it vision marketing. The other thing for you to have a vision is the other thing to then learn how to market the vision, how to convince people, how to tell people about the vision, how to get their buy-in. But one of the quickest way is number one, and this also helps with the conversation around integrity. Create a natural way that people can become exceptionally rich in your vision, right? If they meet certain criteria. So I'll give you an example. In our business now, we give commission on almost all products we sell. So aside that an employee can get salary, if you think your salary is not enough, bring us customers. A portion of what the customer pay us is yours. So we have employees in our company